Did Purdue win?
They did.
They did?
Yep. Like 50-something.
50-something to nothing?
Something like that.
Who they play?
That's another blind system 4. I don't know.
Yeah, you echoing again bad. I don't know why that started all of a sudden.
56-0. Indiana.
Say again?
56-0.
56-0.
Indiana State.
I don't know if you heard me. Your microphone's echoing real bad.
Okay.
Much like it was the other day.
Is that better?
That sounds better now. But now I'm echoing. You hear it? I got to echo.
How's that?
How's that? I'm good now.
I'm good.
Yeah, you sound good. You sound okay now.
Good.
We'll get in one more minute, then we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay.
I want to make sure I give Carrie time to get on here so she can get on me about my 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Travis, hit the music. Let's get rolling.
Okay.
When they come in, we'll add them.
Play the clock. Oh, you already know what it is, man. Ooh and Jay, they coming through. Straight no chaser. Straight from the hip.
Straight from the hip, don't need no script, just need a microphone. My man Coach Boo gon' take you to the entertainment zone. They got the stats of this and that to keep this show on point. And when we're done, we have some fun and rock this funky joint. So if you will, sit back and chill, give us a chance to show ya. If one of y'all would like to call, we'll talk just like we know ya. We take control, then start the roll, and then there ain't no stopping. It's time to dip straight from the hip. Hey, yo, let's get it poppin'.
That intro always puts me in a good mood. McGee, what's going on? Welcome to Straight from the Hip. I'm your host, Coach Gerald Boo Mitchell, coming to you live from the Imperial Palace on Black Mania. Here with me today, we have Mr. Travis Butler. What's going on, Travis?
No, not much. Glad to be here. Another exciting sports weekend.
It was. It's been a very exciting week. We're going to kind of go backwards. We're going to start from, a Monday and Sunday, and then work our way back to Saturday into the college stuff. But we're gonna start off with some pro stuff. So I guess we'll talk about some of the least important games and work our way around back up to the more important games. So on the least important games list, we have Colts 20, Texans 20. Travis, what do you think about that?
That was a bad game. I think Ove said it best on our group chat. We all picked the Colts to win this division, and they can't even beat the Texans. So either the Colts are not as good as what we think, which I think is the answer, or the Texans are a lot better than what we thought. So
I disagree. I disagree. I think that a lot of times when you're playing teams like that, I think teams play down because they're just thinking about, hey, we just this a team that's easy to beat, and when you have that feeling about a team that doesn't work out that way, then that doesn't work very good. But there you go. Cody said, but they didn't lose to the Texans. And they were very fortunate, Cody, not to lose to the Texans.
And there were a lot of upsets this week in week one, and we're going to get to them.
Yeah, we're going to get to them. But like I said, that particular game there, I thought it was interesting. Davis Mills, who's a kid I used to coach and train, versus Matt Ryan. And, Matt Ryan was 3 for 50. I'm sorry, 32 for 50. 352 yards, 1 interception, and 1 touchdown. I didn't get Davis Mills' stat line. I think it was. I think I remember somebody saying he was 0-0, but no.
23 of 37, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks.
Oh, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Okay, well, it sounds like he had a better stat line than Matt Ryan had.
Yep.
So, in the battle of the quarterbacks, and look who won that. But he's a Matt Ryan's a former Falcon. I'm gonna wait till Miss Carey is here before I talk about any Falcons. But anyway, we wish Matt Ryan the best. Patriots 7, Dolphins 20. Travis, give me your take on that.
I think the Patriots may be in for a long year, and I'm not sold on the Dolphins yet. Just because they beat the Patriots week 1, I'm still pumping the brakes.
Travis, you need to get on the train. Me and Jason been talking about it for a while. I mean, I think the Dolphins might be legit, and Jason and I have been talking about that on the sidebar. But I'm just telling you, y'all better start riding that train because with Tyreek Hill over there, that's already one major. I mean, anybody, he can get open on anybody, on any defense. And with that ability, and he needs a coach with a strong arm. I'm not saying Tua has the strongest arm out there, but he's good enough, and he can, kind of create a little time and extend some plays enough. That could be interesting. But I don't know. The Patriots offense is, told y'all a long time ago about what's the name, Mac Jones, is that his name?
Yep.
I was never a fan, never been a fan.
I think their offense is going to have some real problems this year.
Yeah, we'll see. Bills 31, Rams 10.
Bills look really good.
Ooh, they look good.
The Bills look really good.
Yeah, I am. I'm enamored with the Bills because of how hard they play.
Yeah,
and I love that quarterback. Stiff arming that dude to the ground. That dude never lived that down. He might not ever work again. That's hard to live down right there when a quarterback does you like he did. I'm talking about put his hand on his jaw and just pushed him down to the ground. Yeah, that's pretty ferocious. And you never know if the Rams are just having a Super Bowl hangover and all that kind of stuff. It's early. It's still early, so I wouldn't count the Rams out yet. I picked the Rams to be back in the Super Bowl. I'm sticking with my pick for right now. So anyway, I thought that was pretty good.
The one thing I did find interesting with the Rams was it was Cooper Kupp and nobody else. So they're going to have to offensively. They're going to have to find someone else, whether that be Allen Robinson, Tyler Higbee, Cam Akers coming out of the backfield. Somebody's going to have to be able to catch the ball. And I don't know if waiting for Beckham to hopefully come back is the answer. I think they got to find somebody faster than that.
Well, Cooper made himself a one now, and I mean, obviously he's going to get special attention as a one,
right?
And then somebody's got to be able to do something else out there.
Yep.
So there's no doubt about that. Here's a game I'm gonna give you, Travis. That's it's a good game, but it's not really one of the highlights of this weekend. Eagles 38, Lions 35.
The Lions were biting kneecaps, and they just came up a few bites short.
What's going on, Tom? What do you think about Jalen Hurts?
He looked okay. He made a few plays, had a few mistakes. I think that's what you're going to get out of him. 155 yards with A.J. Brown. That's a lot for a number one wide receiver. So that'll be interesting to see if they kind of keep that connection, but no passing touchdowns. So, we'll see. Again, decent win, nothing special, but they won the game.
I thought Jalen Hurts looked really good. I mean, everybody's kind of doing a wait and see on him. I think he passed the initial test. I don't have his stats, but I saw the highlights.
18 of 32, 243 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
Okay.
Sacked one time.
Okay.
And then carried the ball 17 times for 90 yards and a touchdown.
So I can live with that. I mean, those are at a minimum, those are Lamar Jackson stats. So I can live with that. I mean, they've been doing quite well in Baltimore with that same formula. So I can live with that with Jalen Hurts. I think that that will keep them in good shape for the NFC East. I can bet you that. If he can play that way every game and take care of the football every game. So my next one I'm going to talk about is Raiders and Chargers. Raiders 19, Chargers 24. Are you still in love with the quarterback over there with the Chargers?
I'm not in love. You know me. I picked the Chargers dead last. I'm sorry, Cody. Chargers had a nice win. Yeah, 19-24, back and forth game. Chargers kind of had control over it for a lot of the game. I was impressed by the defense of the Chargers. They did play very well. They kind of controlled Derek Carr. 295 yards passing. They did give up 141 to Devontae Adams, but he's a top receiver for a reason. So, and at the end, when they had to get some stops, they forced a sack and a fumble and got a turnover and got the win. So I wasn't thinking Chargers are the greatest team ever. I wasn't super impressed, but they got the win against, I think, is a quality team of the Raiders, and we'll see how they move on. I am concerned with Keenan Allen, though. He's got a hamstring injury this early in the season. That could be a problem.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I'm not a big fan of the Chargers, and I told y'all that before. I'm not enamored with their quarterback like a lot of people are.
Yeah.
I'm not enamored with Derek Carr either. I can tell you that much. He doesn't do anything for me. But Herbert, he's not my guy. I don't think he's got the longevity that maybe some other people think he has. So, but dang, Travis, you said they didn't get that much on me. Almost got 300 yards on them. 300 yards pass. What'd you say?
295.
295. That's almost 300 yards. You act like that's a bad day.
But the Chargers forced 3 interceptions and got 5 sacks. So and forced 3 fumbles.
The Herbert hate might come from me, Cody, but they got minds of their own. I can tell you that. I'm just not a big fan of Herbert. Packers and Vikings. Packers 7, Vikings 23. Nobody picked that. I can guarantee you. Nobody picked that.
I got 2 takeaways on this game, if I may.
Come on.
One, Minnesota, that offense. Justin Jefferson may put up 2,000 yards receiving. Like, that offense is really good, and I think they're a scary team. And I think Green Bay's in trouble. They got no one to catch the ball, and I think Aaron Rodgers just may go ballistic on them halfway through the season if they're not producing.
Well, I mean that's in my opinion that's partly his own fault. So, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think that his being indecisive and, handling things the way he handled them and talking about, because they said that Devontae is on, what's the name, Devontae, is it Devontae Adams?
He's the one that went to the Raiders.
That's what I'm saying, Devontae Adams. I was making sure it was Devontae Adams. He's the one who has come out and said that him being so wishy-washy and whatnot is one of the things that drove him to leave. Yeah. Because he's like, dude, I can't be sitting back holding my breath waiting to see if this dude's coming back or not. I got to get out of here.
So Rodgers had 22 completions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Only 11 of them went to wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of checkdowns to running backs and tight ends.
Well, I agree, but I wonder how many of those were drops of the incomplete passes.
And I know I remember watching the wide receiver, both Watson and Dubes both dropped a touchdown.
Yeah, I saw at least 2 drops. Yeah.
And that's just what I remember. I don't know if there's any other ones, but I know I remember watching, and both of those guys dropped a touchdown.
Yeah. Giants squeaked by the Titans, 21-20.
What a call. What a call to go for the 2-pointer.
Why? Why is that such a good call? You one of the worst teams in the league. If you lose, everybody like, yep, same old Giants.
But Coach, you won, and that fires your team up. And it shows your team that you have confidence in them, that they're going to get the point. Okay. They're going to get the 1 or 2 yards that they need, and they gave it to the best player on the field, which is Saquon, and he looks ready to go, and he looks back. I love that call. And starting for a brand new coach, trying to turn that team around. I think that was the absolute right call, and it worked. And they got the
definitely win. The right call. I mean, when you're a losing franchise like that, what do you have to lose? If you lose, everybody like, okay, same old, same old. I mean, if you win, it gives people hope and everything else. So, I mean, it's a no-win. It's a no-lose situation.
I think they could get a lot of momentum just from this one game. Like, I really do. At Tennessee, that's an impressive win. Yeah. I'm not saying Tennessee's the greatest team, but they make the playoffs almost every year, and you went in there and won week 1. That is an impressive win.
Yeah, if it was week 5, Travis, I might agree with you. But it's week 1. I mean, when it's week 1,
real quick,
there's a lot of hiccups.
I understand, and there were a lot of upsets, and that was one of them. That was definitely one of them. Hold on, let's wait till Irv gets his camera on. But I do want to. I have the Giants schedule pulled up. Next week they have a home game against Carolina. I think the Giants could win that game. Then they have a home game against Dallas. If Dak doesn't play, which he's not going to, I think they could win that game.
Mm-hmm.
And the week after that is the Bears, a home game against the Bears. And I know the Bears won this week. We're going to get to them. But I can see the Giants winning that game too. I'm not saying they're going to, but it really would shock you for the Giants to win any of those 3 games. I don't think.
Go ahead and bet your money in Vegas that the Giants are going to be 4-0 this year to start the season off. Go ahead and put that money down and be sure you cry over it and everything before you give it away.
I don't make bets.
Okay, I'm just trying to tell you, if ain't no in the hell, they're gonna be 4-0. Earth week that you're in darkness.
I'm in the car on the way home, man. I had to finish out the soccer game.
Yeah,
we can't see you at all.
We were talking about the Giants and the Titans game.
Yeah, Giants defense looks just locked down right now. They're looking pretty good, but
anybody looks good against the Titans.
I don't.
Henry. They still got Henry.
They still got Henry, man. But I don't think, like I said before, man, I'm not a fan of Ryan Tannehill right now, and the flow of the game just cannot go through him at all.
Who the hell would be a fan of Tannehill?
Hey,
his mom ain't a fan of his.
Hey, she named him Ryan.
Exactly.
I was saying I was impressed by the Giants in that play call, and that if you look at their schedule, their next 3 games are home games against Carolina, Dallas, and Chicago.
They'll win one of them. They'll win one of those 3.
Is that out of the realm of possibilities? That they're 4-0 after those next 3 games?
Yes, it
3-1. 3-1.
Realm of possibility.
3-1.
And for the Giants, that's a great start. This is the first time they've had a winning season since, 2017 or something like that? Just a winning record?
Not a winning season, just a winning record.
Yeah, a winning record.
They ain't going to have no winning season. They damn sure ain't going to have no winning season.
I'm not saying they are, but I'm just saying I was impressed with them. If Saquon can stay healthy, it was.
All right, moving right along. Let's talk about what you say? Let's talk about Ravens and Jets. Since we got Irv on here, we know that Irv is a Ravens guy. 24-9. Ravens. Irv, talk to me about your team.
Yes, sir. Look, I was afraid that not having any quality receivers was going to be a problem, but man, Lamar was whipping that ball around when he finally let him go.
So what were Lamar's stats, Travis?
Lamar's stats, give me 1 second. 17 of 30, 213 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
That's a good Lamar day. That's a great Lamar day. I mean, if he can continue to play like that, they'll make it to the first round.
And if everybody's healthy, they'll get past first round.
Do what now?
Said if everybody's healthy, they're getting past the first round.
Yeah, but I mean, it's tough to keep everybody healthy. Ask Dak Prescott about that. I mean, that's not always the case, as you know. So,
of course.
I mean, it's interesting. So we'll see. We'll go ahead to your next game, which is the Jags and the Commanders.
The ultimate Carson Wentz game. You had some highs, a couple lows, and then highs to get them back into that game.
Yeah, you know, I'm definitely not a fan of either one of these teams here.
The Jaguars could easily be a problem. The Jaguars could be a problem.
Yeah.
The only reason they lost that game is a bunch of dumb mistakes in the first half. That was it.
Yeah, the Jaguars cost them themselves that win.
And yeah, they easily dropped 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Travis Etienne dropped 2 of them himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to see that the Jaguars are going to still have. I think this will be another down year for them.
I do too.
Because they need some maturing, and from the quarterback on through Etienne, and they're just young.
Yeah.
And they're going. It's going to take them a year or 2 more before they can actually be a legitimate threat. And then, with that comes maintaining and keeping people there and everything else. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but they're not ready. Now, what I do like is that the Commanders won and the Ravens won. So that keeps that Subway Series alive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
For just one more week.
Hey, listen. I'll tell you what. I do want to change my AFC South standards after that game. I think the Colts are going to be worse than the Jaguars this year.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
I know I'm sticking with the Colts. I'm not ready yet.
What?
I'm not ready yet to make that change.
All right. Are you sure you're not a Matt Ryan fan? We need to have a.
Don't get me wrong. When I look at his day, I mean, he was 32 for 50, 352 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. I mean, I can live with that. I mean, he's been doing that for years, and y'all want to put his ass in the Hall of Fame. I mean, shit.
So, Coach, let me ask you a question. You got a running back like Jonathan Taylor, and your quarterback throwing 53 times. Is that a good game?
Well, he threw as many times as he needed to. I mean, the bottom line is that if you're getting your ass kicked and you need to hurry up and score points, you got to throw the damn ball. You can't be running the ball.
And that was the problem. They were down 20-3 going into the fourth quarter.
There you go.
So they had
I mean, see, that's why I tell Travis and Jason all the time. Numbers always lie. I don't want to hear that numbers never lie mess people be talking about, because numbers always lie. But when I hear things like that, the first thing I think of is immediately, well, hell, they must have been losing, so they having to throw the ball and get some points. With a back like him, hell yeah, if you're winning, oh, baby, you feeding that thing. I mean, as long as he's getting 3.5 yards, you like, hey, let's go. Give me 3.5 yards every play. We're going to run that same play every time. That same play. You just keep getting 3.5 yards, I will run the same play. I'll be yelling out in the field, run it again. And I don't care if they know about it, because they can't stop it. And I'm just going to let that clock just chew down. But if you ain't getting 3.5 yards and enabling me to get first downs, we got to chunk this thing. We got to chunk it. So
what does Denzel say in Remember the Titans? I run 6 plays, split veer like Novocaine. Just give it time, always works.
There you go. There you go. I agree. Browns 26, Panthers 24.
He also said he wanted perfection. I'm gonna put my foot in your John Brown hind
John Brown hind parts.
He did say that.
He sure did. Browns 26, Panthers 24. Browns win. First time I rooted for the Browns ever in my lifetime. First time ever. I didn't want old Baker boy to win. So the Baker Bowl is won by the Browns. What do you think about that, Herb?
I called it. I knew it. Baker is not the quarterback everybody thinks he is.
You didn't know that.
Panthers are not winning 5 games this year, man. The Panthers are not winning 5 games this year.
They probably won't, but they probably won't. I mean, that's a bad team.
Yeah, watching that game, I
just don't understand it. Like,
watching that game, I realized that they're not as good of a team as I thought they were going to be. I agree with you there. I don't know if it's 5, but because they got to play the Falcons twice, but I guess that's only 2 wins, so we'll see. But I don't think they're as good as what I thought they were going to be.
I picked them to be last in this division. I mean, they're terrible. I mean, they are terrible. I mean, I don't know why anybody would pick him, with him as a quarterback too. I mean, I actually chose Marcus Mariota over him. I mean, he's awful to me. So anyway,
I just looked at their schedule. They have the NFC West. So they got to play the Rams, the 49ers, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks, and the AFC North. So Bengals, Steelers, and Ravens still, along with the Bucs twice.
Oh, they'll beat the 49ers. They'll beat the 49ers and the Cardinals.
They probably will. I'll give you that. Matt Kalup says no wins in the AFC South this week. Nobody in the AFC South won. We talked about how bad a division that is.
And only one team in the NFC North or NFC West won.
All right, moving right along. Go ahead, Herb.
I said, yeah. How do you have nobody win a division and two teams played each other? That's how you know your conference is bad. Your division is bad.
Ties, baby. I hate them.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I wish they would just take the tie out.
They need to take the tie out. I agree. They need to take that out. It does help create some interesting scenarios at the end of the year when you're trying to figure out who's going to make the playoffs. All right, we're getting around to crunch time. I'm going to start talking about some folks' team here, so y'all better get ready. We'll go to Buccaneers Cowboys first. Buccaneers 19, Cowboys 3. America's team.
They're in trouble.
I tell you what, Black Tony, I don't know if y'all listen to Ricky Smiley in the morning like I do. Black Tony said, who said they're America's team? He said it must be South America's team. Black Tony would have nothing to do with those doggone Cowboys. I tell you that right now. So y'all know I hate the Cowboys. I mean, I absolutely loved seeing what I saw the other night. I'm going to tell you this, though, and say what you want to. Brady looked good.
He did.
I know he was only 18 of 27, only had 212 yards, one pick, one interception, sacked twice. I mean, say one TD, one interception, sacked twice. But he looked very efficient. All this talk about him being distracted and having personal issues and all that, I couldn't tell from what I saw. Brady looked sharp as a tack. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No, sir.
And as long as Brady is Brady, they got a chance.
I'll say what I said when
I'm just waiting for you to mention that one guy that you hated for,
Hold on, Ern. Go ahead, Travis.
I'll say what I said with Green Bay earlier in the show. I'm worried about Dallas too. Just like I said, I'm worried about Green Bay. I'm worried about Dallas. With no Dak, man, that's going to be tough. That's going to be real tough for them.
Ain't no doubt. I mean, they have a chance because they got such a good defense, but with no offense, which say what you want to say about Zeke. Zeke is he's the best he's been in years. No, he's not. No,
he's gotten injured every year for the last 3 or 4 years.
And he'll get injured again this year.
Yeah.
He'll get something. He'll get turf toe. He'll get something. But
and their offensive line's already gotten injured too. So
he got bad shoulders.
Yep, I don't see it with Zeke. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So real quick, Broncos and Seahawks. Broncos 16, Seahawks 17.
Yeah, the Broncos is going to go to the film study and slap themselves on that one.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, they 2 times going in from inside the 5-yard line, they fumble and give the ball away. I mean, if I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have believed it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I've never seen anything like that before.
That could be the game that cost that could be the game that cost them the division.
What do you guys think about the Seahawks fans booing Russell Wilson? What about that, Alexis? I'm gonna call you back.
They can boo him.
I don't think it's right for them to boo him. I thought that was terrible.
I agree. Get a life.
I mean, that man that gave his blood, sweat, and tears. That's hard for me to see and be okay with her. Don't get me wrong. I know, and I get it. I'm glad they didn't throw anything at him or, there were rumors that when Dak Prescott ran off the field the other day, people were throwing trash at him.
I saw it.
He playing with a broke thumb.
Yeah. I saw a video that when he was walking off the field, there was trash being thrown at him. I saw a video of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, my whole thing is that, and I get it, he's still active and he's playing and he chose to leave. It's not like they tried to run him off or he retired or anything like that. But, I hate to see that when that man won you a Super Bowl or, got you to a Super Bowl or whatever the case may be, and all the things that he's done there, he's been good to the community, him and his wife and this and that and the other. And then for him to come back to all them boos and stuff like that, dude, I'd have been heartbroken. I ain't going to lie to you. I'd have been heartbroken if that was me, as much as I've done for that city and whatnot, and I would openly talk about it. As I'm telling you what is jacked up. For them to be booing me when I came in here, I mean, Tom said it surprised him too. I agree, Tom. And you're right. He played his ass off all those years and got them to where they are. Amen, Tom. Put them on the map. Help put them on the map anyway. And you know, as little as he is and all that running around stuff he does to be successful. And then for them to do him like that, I was bothered by it. I ain't gonna lie to you. All
Yeah,
right, go ahead.
That's why fans hurt the game, but help the game.
Yeah, I agree. It's that passion of a fanatic that keeps this thing rolling. Chiefs 44, Cardinals 21. It's a new bad man out there. I keep trying to tell y'all. That man ain't going nowhere. Just because he didn't make it to the Super Bowl last year, he ain't going nowhere. That he is the best quarterback right now. He ain't the GOAT. I ain't talking no GOAT stuff. He ain't been around but 5 years. But the bottom line is that for now, he is the most dangerous man out there by far. By far. 30 for 39, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 TDs, no sacks and no INTs.
So here's my thing with the Chiefs. They're going to have a lot of games like this, right? They're going to win. We know that. They're going to win 12, 13 games, maybe even 14. Mahomes is going to put up stats.
Yep.
I got to see. Well, I want to know what happens when he gets to the playoffs. That's how I'm going to grade his whole season this year. What happens when he gets to the playoffs?
I know, but it's 36 teams, and about 30 of them ain't going to get to the playoffs.
36 teams. And
I know.
I understand, but we expect this from Mahomes, right? Like, we expect.
Obviously, I'm being facetious, but my whole point is that it's a very select few of teams that's going to get there. So for him to even get there, it's greatness, and I guarantee they're going to be. He'll win probably at least the first 2 rounds. Now he might struggle in the last one to get to the Super Bowl, but in first 2 rounds, I would bet $1,000 on that they'd make it that far to the NFC Finals. I'd bet that. NFC Championship game. I'd bet that. I bet money on that. I'm sorry, AFC Championship game. I bet money on that for sure.
Yeah, that's easy money right there.
That's what I feel like, Herb. I mean, don't get me wrong. Now, if he breaks his thumb or whatever, then obviously. I'd change my bet. But as long as he's in and active and healthy, I don't care who else goes down on that team. If he's in and active and healthy, I'm with him. Because that joker is bad. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's the baddest man alive right now.
This made it look so easy.
He did.
Steelers and Bengals. We'll go ahead and talk about it first. Steelers and Bengals. Travis, come on, give me that excuse why y'all off. Now, I'm going to remind you. Let me remind you of this. You told me, you justified when I called you a homer, and I said the only reason you are picking them to win the AFC and go back to the Super Bowl and win their division and all these things you were telling me. You said, I've got good reasons, though, because we beefed up the line. We're going to protect Burrow more. All of these things you said to me, am I right?
Yeah.
How the hell you get 7 sacks yesterday?
It was 2
Gave up 7 sacks.
It was 2 days ago.
Okay.
5 turnovers.
7 sacks.
Hold on. And we still had to go to overtime to lose the game. I'm not too concerned about the Bengals. My level of concern is about a 2 right now.
That's because you're a homer. That's the only reason. Because your ass. You
couldn't have had.
You need to be as much, if not more, concerned about them as you are about Dak and Dallas.
You asked me, okay? You couldn't have had a worse first half for the Bengals. You couldn't have had a worse first half, and they
wait a minute. Let me ask you something.
Did they lose the game? Yes, and I'm not going to deny they lost.
Was somebody besides them playing in the first half? I mean, you act like somebody did that for them or whatever. I mean, That's them. That's who they are. They were out there playing that way. That's them.
I know they had a really bad game, and they still went to overtime. But this is the worst game Burrow has played in his career, and they still went to overtime to lose the game.
Okay,
I'm not worried about the Bengals. I'm not.
But
the biggest thing I worry about the Bengals.
You trashed the Steelers the other day when we did our little analysis. When we did our analysis about who was going to win the divisions and all that,
and I'll still pick the Bengals to win the division.
You said the Steelers were bad. You were talking about the Steelers and no quarterback and all this other stuff. And now you're sitting up here saying that, acting like there's some kind of great competition.
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, I mean, you're saying that they did all this. They did all this. They had all these terrible things happen, and they still went into overtime.
Coach,
with the Steelers?
The Steelers' offense had 1 touchdown.
Okay.
So it wasn't the offense. It wasn't the offense. It was the defense.
I agree.
We all knew was going to be good. And now that TJ Watt's out.
Terrible team, and you had to go to overtime to beat them.
Okay. Week 1. Everyone had a bad week. The Rams, Super Bowl.
Everybody had a bad week.
Rams, Super Bowl team, also lost.
Woo!
Okay. The Colts didn't even win. The Titans lost. Packers lost. Cowboys lost. Raiders lost. All those teams made playoffs last year.
America, I want y'all to pay attention to what's going on right now. The Bengals. This is how a homer, that's how you know a homer right there. Because that man is going to defend his team come hell or high water.
Oh, my word.
I mean, come hell or high water. That man right there. Listen, Travis, you have our permission from now on. I'll wear that Bengals shirt and hat when you come on this show. Because that joker right there gonna say nothing bad about them Bengals boy. 7 sacks? 7. I mean, that might be close to a damn NFL record. Coach, 7 sacks.
Let me ask you a question.
Come on.
If you give up 7 sacks, 4 interceptions, and a fumble, so 5 turnovers,
right?
What do you think you're going to lose by?
To who?
Any team. How many points?
No, it ain't any team. That's what I'm saying. It ain't any
team.
Okay.
An NFL team.
Let's say
we went to overtime.
Let's say it was the Chiefs. You gonna win it? You gonna lose by 3 in overtime to the Chiefs? They're gonna beat the damn brakes off of you.
That's my point, Coach. My point is we couldn't have played any worse, and we only lost by 3.
To the Steelers.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does matter.
No,
to Mitch Trubisky.
To Mitch Trubisky.
Again.
I think the last couple drives they put Mason Rudolph in there.
No, Mason Rudolph didn't play a single play. I watched every play of the Bengals game.
Stop it.
My whole point is that you ain't played nobody. You played nobody. And you know that. And you still gonna make it like it's okay, or y'all did something grand.
I'm not saying we did anything grand. They played a terrible game. They played a terrible game. My point is, you couldn't have played any worse, and you still only lost by 3 points and went to overtime, and was 1 extra point block away, which happens about 1 time an entire year in the season, from winning the game. So that's going to get fixed.
Okay.
The problems for the Bengals are very fixable and can be corrected very simple.
No doubt.
Which is why I'm not worried. Again, that's why I'm not worried about my team. There's things that can be fixed and corrected very simply.
Travis, if you were 7 and 5 and 7 and needed to win out to make it to the playoff, you wouldn't be worried. Because that's who you are. You are the sunshine up my behind Bengals fan. And it doesn't matter. You always going to find the damn ray of sunshine, ray of hope, everything about the Bengals. So it don't matter. That's why I couldn't wait to talk about this. But I know good damn well you told me they beefed up that line to protect Joe Burrow, and they gave up damn 7 sacks. 7 sacks. So anyway, moving along, 49ers and Bears. 49ers 10, Bears 19. Irv, what you think? I'm going to let Travis catch his breath before we go back to Travis.
Yeah, you left out Soldier Field 20. Man, that got to be the ugliest game I've ever seen in my life.
Wasn't it? I mean, see, that's why I tell you, when I become commissioner, if you ain't got a dome, you ain't got no team. I mean, that field, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing to have a field that holds that much water. And I see why they talking about put a dome on it. And do you know everybody I've talked to this week has been mad about them putting a dome over Soldier? They're like, oh, that's just terrible. I mean, you know, football.
I don't understand.
Ask the damn fans if they want to be out there in that damn rain and all that other stuff after they done paid $250 for a damn ticket and you got rain coming in there sideways. It ain't coming straight down. That damn rain coming sideways. That damn wind, the windy city is blowing all crazy and you sitting there getting all wet and everything, man, get a damn dome around every stadium so people can go in there and enjoy the game and watch the athletes run at full speed and not worrying about the elements and cold and all that other foolishness. That's ridiculous.
And it don't even have to be every stadium. Like, you in Chicago.
Exactly.
Like Chicago, exactly. Buffalo. Like, y'all got to do something.
Yeah, I mean, it was terrible. And but like I said, the 49ers didn't look like much. I mean,
nope, they didn't.
You know, everybody's trying to give a pass to Trey Lance because of the elements. It wasn't. I ain't giving you no pass. I don't give anybody a pass because at the end of the day, when you signed up to play in the NFL, you know some of them stadiums out there that are open air. So I'm not trying to hear that. You got to be able to play in all conditions.
I'm glad you said that because if you would have went the opposite way, I would have just roasted you, Coach. Because
you ain't never gonna have reason to roast me. You know why? Because number one, I damn sure ain't no homer. Number two, I'm gonna tell the truth all the time. I don't give a damn who it is. I ain't giving nobody a break. Nobody. I don't care. The team played like dog shit. That's why they lost 19-10. Whatever the elements are. Period. Now, you don't hear me look there ain't no sunshine. Ain't no sunshine at all. I can talk for days. If I was you, I'd be like, well, hey, the elements were like they were, and nobody plays well in the elements. The Bears didn't even play well in those elements. So I have no worries whatsoever because everything is easily fixable, easily. All of that's going to get corrected. Everything. They're going to make sure from now on it's going to be sunshine every day and the wind's not going to be blowing and they're going to figure it all out. So I'm not worried at all about my team. That's what Travis would have said. But me, I say it was a boo-boo and they played like boo-boo and that's why they wound up with a boo-boo record right now.
And real quick, remember I talked about Justin Fields last year and I wasn't impressed, right? I was on this show multiple times saying Justin Fields, not very good.
Yep.
8 for 17. That was his
okay.
8 for 17 for 121 yards.
But you know what? He still won. See?
That dub.
I mean, you sitting up there talking about, and they didn't have to go to overtime. His team didn't have to go to overtime. So why are you not so high on them like you were on your team? Because with your team, you're like, yeah, he was terrible. We were terrible. My quarterback was god awful. And we still only lost by 3 and had to go to overtime. But you don't give him no pass. You're like, oh my God, he was awful. And I told you he was awful.
I don't think the Bears are any good.
Man, you got to be kidding me, Trey. You are so I mean, it ain't even funny. You so slanted. You just said the same damn thing about your quarterback, and you had no worry in the world. None whatsoever. And this man then went and won the damn game, didn't even have to go into overtime, and you, oh my God, he's terrible. I told you he's terrible. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Justin Fields didn't win anything.
Well, and neither did Burrow. Didn't win nothing either. But you know what? Justin Fields still got a 1-0 record. What's your record?
We're 0-1.
Exactly. So he did. He won that. He at least has at least his team has a 1 first before the O. Saints. Is that the last one? Yeah, this is the last one of the day. Saints and Falcons.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna let Herb go first, Travis. Then you, and then I'll finish it up.
That's fine.
I gotta go first.
Yeah, go ahead, Herb.
Let us pray for NFC South. Lord, can you bless us and never put games like this on television ever again? Amen. Oh my word. I was pushing the Saints defense so heavy. It was ugly. I knew the Falcons were going to be bad. They looked okay. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I tell you, a lot of people are saying they're going to win they're going to make it from the NFC to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Talk out there about that. Now, Curtis McGee is a big Saint fan. He said down 16 and still won. Now, Travis, he got as much for the Saints as you got for the Bengals, as you can see. As you can see.
I'm glad he's still riding with his team because that's a true fan. I'm glad.
True fan. That's a bad fan.
That's a true fan.
That's a fanatic. No, you can't call him a fan. He's a fanatic. He is drunk with Saints juice, just like you are drunk with Bengals juice.
Now,
that's what that is.
I don't agree with Curtis. I'm
no, because they ain't the Bengals. If they were the damn Bengals, your ass would agree with it.
No, but we're talking about the Saints game, so I wasn't impressed with the Saints. They squeaked out a victory, but congratulations to them. They did win. We'll see. I want to see a little bit more from the Saints before I make my final decision on if they're good or not. I was slightly impressed with Marcus Mariota, actually. I thought they had a really good game plan with him. They're not as bad as what I think everyone thinks they're going to be.
Yeah, they are. They're bad as what I think they're going to be.
Yes, they are.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I had so much pleasure because I was told, I was at the field house. We had to work at 1 o'clock, else I'd have been to the game. My whole family went. I was the only one that didn't go because I had to be here for high school football. We have a meeting every Sunday at 2 o'clock during the season. I went to the field house, and they were tracking the game because one of our coaches is a big Falcon fan, and they kept coming in. Oh, the Falcons up by, 16. Looks like they're going to get this win. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, damn, I'm going to have to listen to these jokes on the radio, on the morning show with Big Tigger on V103, all this shit about the Falcons and, it's going to be a Super Bowl year, all that kind of stuff. When I found out they lost that damn game, boy, it's like Christmas and got doggone September. I was so elated that I didn't have to put up with that. And sure enough, the next day on the radio show, this looks like this is going to be another rebuilding year. One game into it, it's the Super Bowl, or it's going to be a rebuilding year. One game into the season. And y'all wonder why I can't stand them jokers?
I don't know one Falcon fan that thinks or thought they were going to go to the Super Bowl. I don't even know one Falcon fan that thought they were going to make the playoffs this year. So,
dude, I'm telling you right now,
every Falcon fan I've talked to has said it's going to be a difficult year. They're going to be probably a bottom 5 to a bottom 10 team, and they're rebuilding. I don't know one person that they were going to be a top playoff team.
Be sure on your way to work tomorrow. I know you're going to listen to Conway Twitty. I know you want to listen to Conway Twitty.
I listen to 92.9 every morning.
And Dolly Parton. Turn on B103 and listen to Big Tigger, Miss Pat, and the Teal with Shamia. And that's all they talk about, these doggone Falcons. Because they have a booth at the stadium, and it's supposed to be the party booth, and everybody tells me. First of all, I was told by people who went, and I know a lot of people who went to that game, that the stadium was almost empty. They said I couldn't believe it was a Falcons-Saints game because they said that nobody was there. And then they said most of the people who were there were up in those party booths like the one B103 had, and nobody was paying attention to the game.
I did hear that. I did hear that there weren't a lot of people at the stadium.
Dude, I mean, for the Falcons and the Saints, that's like their most hated rival. And nobody was at the game. Yeah. Nobody. Dude, I mean, that's embarrassing right there to me. For a Falcon, for a franchise like this to be that way. Anyway, Tom said Falcons look good because the Saints played like shit, unfortunately. And I hear you. And that's what I heard too. I heard the Falcons or the Saints played horribly and they still managed to win the game. That's what I heard. So, but anyway, Tom said he loves that stat with Miss Pat. Miss Pat is nominated for an Emmy Award. The Emmy Awards are given out tonight. They're supposed to find out tonight whether or not she wins a TV Emmy. I heard that on the radio this morning too. So, but anyway, that's it for our pro football. Real quick, Pat, we got 2 minutes. We do want to acknowledge for Travis's sake that South Carolina got the hell beat out of them by beat the hell out of them, Arkansas. Arkansas beat the hell out of South Carolina the other day. And,
number 10 in the country, Arkansas, that I said that they weren't going to win. And but you got a chance. I never said we were going to win this game.
You got a chance on winning this week, though.
No, we don't.
Why?
Because we play Georgia.
Oh, I didn't know
that. Oh, man.
Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to lose this on Saturday. We got to play Georgia. They're the defending national champions. Like
at South Carolina, Travis.
It is at South Carolina. That is correct, and we're still going to lose. And don't come on here next week and say that I didn't say that.
At South Carolina.
That's bad.
Irv, if you want to fly in, I get us some tickets. We need to go over there and watch that. That's
man,
ass whipping.
Hey, we don't know the way that Bama played Texas. Who knows?
Oh, we know. That's why Georgia went past Bama. Bama's tripping right now, and I'm telling you, and this is what I want to say in reference to the college football segment. It's time for Nick Saban to retire. And I'm a Saban fan. But when you start having penalties like that, they had like 14 penalties in the first half. Dude, that goes to coaching. And I mean, there is no better way to let a coach know that he's losing his players than when you start having penalties like that. Because the discipline is gone. And it's like, when you have that discipline and that good fear of your head coach that you don't make mistakes like that with those penalties, that's when you know that you're doing the job. I'm telling you, this is the first sign of the decline of that team with all these damn penalties. I mean, way too many penalties. It's just ridiculous how many penalties they're having. And I hope that and I'm not trying to run him into retirement too soon, but I do hope that it's within the next year or so, a year or two, that he goes on here and retires and get up out of here. And I'll be very surprised if they make it all the way to if they win the national championship this year. I'll be very surprised. Georgia, right now, I'm telling you, Georgia's looking really, really good right now. Really, really good. I can tell you that much. So take that deal, Travis, and pick up that SEC check.
Hey, Saban is going the Joe Paterno route, man. He's not going nowhere.
I know. Well, let's hope he don't go the Joe Paterno route literally. But
negative. Age-wise, that's it. Age-wise.
Into existence.
Yeah, you can see that he has aged, and this game has really aged him a lot. And, I mean, it's time for him to quit, get on the speaking circuit. I mean, he ain't going to make, $16 million a year like he's making now, but he can make $1 million a year. And I'm sure that the money that he has more than enough money put away that he ain't ever going to have to lift a finger to do anything. So I hope he'll go ahead and get out before it gets too tainted one way or the other. So anyway, folks, it's time for us to get out of here. Go ahead, Travis.
Just real quick, just letting everyone know, putting it out here. I'm not going to be on the show next week. It has nothing to do with the South Carolina-Georgia game.
Oh, that's it.
I got to be at Augusta, so I got to be there all week next week. So.
That's what it is. Yeah, you know, Augusta, real close to South Carolina. I know.
It is actually.
I know.
Yeah.
On the way back, you're gonna stop. You're gonna stop and do something over there, so you don't have to come back over here and take this ass whipping. It's cool. It's cool, Travis. It's cool.
Oh,
Because it's gonna be an ass cutting. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
That's the reason. You know it.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be a straight beat down. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But anyway, like Matt said, take that L, Travis, and pick up that SEC check. Because you're going to get paid for that ass whipping. I'm going to tell you that right now. You don't get paid.
We'll go ahead and win the national championship in women's again, just like I said we would. So.
In women's what? Basketball?
Yeah, women's basketball. We're going to win.
Yeah, you're going to win again this year. You won't win again this year.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
I said it last year before the season started.
As you say it every year, just like you said the Bengals going to make it to the Super Bowl. How many times?
They make it to the Super Bowl, Coach.
Don't you say that every year?
No, I don't.
You haven't?
I said it this year. Last year I didn't say we were going to make the Super Bowl. No, I did not.
What'd you say last year?
Last year I had the Chiefs.
You did.
Thank you, Irv.
What'd you say was going to happen to your team?
What?
What'd you say was going to happen to your team last year?
At the beginning of the season, I thought we'd be a 500 team.
Okay, so what's the prediction for this year?
I already gave it last year. I'm still picking us to win the Super Bowl.
You still think we're going to the Super Bowl?
Yes, okay. I do.
Okay.
It's one game.
All right. I got you. I can't wait.
Okay.
I can't wait. If they Travis, okay.
I think the South Carolina women's team's going to win the national championship again.
Okay. All right, you heard that, Irv.
I did.
Travis, you better find a way to get on here next week. If y'all lose, after y'all lose, we know y'all gonna lose on Saturday. If y'all lose again on Sunday, you better have your ass on this show. You better find a way to do whatever to have your ass on this show. Tell you that right now. All right, folks, we getting out of here.
We play Dallas next week, by the way.
Nobody cares. Y'all, who knows?
That's a dub.
Are you so sure you're gonna beat Dallas?
That's a dub.
Did I say that? All I said is we play Dallas next week.
I know. So you guarantee a win? Because you said it kind of laughingly.
That's a dub.
Is that what you said, John? Right here.
Congratulations on your win.
Are you saying that, Travis?
I didn't say a thing.
Dallas going 4-13. Congratulations on your win.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Irv. This will be the first time I've cheered for the Cowboys in a long time.
Of course you will.
Ain't nothing going to make you cheer for them scrubs.
At least 20 years, this will be the first time I told you, however long Jerry Jones been there, that's when I stopped messing with them. When he took over the team, I said, I'm done. Anyway, let me get out of here. Travis, y'all have a good night. Thank all you guys for being out there. Tom, Matt, Curtis McGee, all you guys. Appreciate you guys for being out there. We'll see y'all next week. Good night, Travis. See you, Irv.
Later, y'all.